So I'm going to try my best not to come off like condescending in this video, because what I do on this channel is explain things, and I can somewhat understand there being some confusion about 17's self-destruct. So I'm going to do my best to explain it, even though it seems like an obvious explanation if you watch the series. I understand that some people either don't remember Dragon Ball Z or they don't remember what happened just a couple weeks ago. But anyways, let's discuss 17 self-destruct. So in Super Episode 127, 17 self-destructed. He blew himself up to save the lives of Goku and Vegeta, and that is what happened. And regardless of your feelings on how it was portrayed or how it happened, it's something that, you know, some people hated it, some people were okay with it, some were shocked by it, but that's not what this video is about. What this video is about is what was seen to be said afterward, which is people saying that they don't understand how 17 was able to blow himself up, and they don't understand how he was able to do that if he had the bombs that were put inside of his body, the self-destruct mechanism that was put inside of his body, removed by Krillin after making a wish to the Eternal Dragon in Dragon Ball Z after the Cell Saga. Because in Dragon Ball Z, after the Cell Saga, they made a couple of wishes, and one of the wishes was that Krillin wished that 18 and 17 could become human. But the dragon could not grant that wish because, well, it was beyond his power, because 17 and 18 are already humans. They are artificial humans, Jinzo Ningen. And some people forget that the story of 17 and 18 is not that they were just robots. They were humans originally, Lapis and Lazuli, and they eventually were modified with cybernetic enhancements, and that's what made them stronger. So when 17 was brought back to life at the end of the Cell Saga, then they made that wish right afterwards, so both of them had their self-destruct devices removed. Now, the reason why those self-destruct devices were even inside of their bodies was not just because Dr. Gero or Dr. Gero in the dub had wanted them to blow themselves up against Goku, but it was also a failsafe because he had an idea, he sort of had a feeling that they would betray him, which they wound up doing. I will be doing a video on this at some point in the future, going really in depth about the whole creation of 17 and 18. But nonetheless, people were saying that they don't understand how 17 was able to do self-destruct if he doesn't have a bomb. Well, if you go back to just a week earlier, Vegeta blew himself up and he survived because his body was able to withstand the final explosion in Dragon Ball Super, as opposed to in the Buu Saga when he did it and he wound up becoming this sort of ashy rock statue, so to speak, way back in Dragon Ball Z. Now, obviously, Vegeta does not have bombs inside of his stomach, and neither did Chaozu when he blew himself up, neither did the Saibaman when he blew himself up on Yamcha. The idea of having a technique that is a self-sacrificial move where you blow yourself up is nothing to do with whether or not you have bombs inside of you. It's all based on energy. Vegeta concentrates his energy and uses every little bit left to make himself explode and hopefully take out the enemy. That's how it works. That's how everybody else who has done a self-destruct move does it, except for one person, and that is Android 16. The difference between Android 16 and 17 and 18 is that while 17 and 18 are hybrid humans with artificial human implants, 16 is a full-out robot, and he doesn't have your traditional ki energy like 17 and 18 have, because 17 and 18 are humans, and thus they can tap into ki. They can tap into energy, and they have unlimited energy reserves as far as stamina goes. That's not how 16 was built. 16 is just a straight up robot. So he cannot do a ki-based explosion. All he can do is blow himself up with the self-destruct device that's inside of his gut. If you remember back in Dragon Ball Z, he tried to do this on Cell, but found out that Bulma removed the self-destruct device when she was repairing him right before the Cell games, so it didn't work. So obviously, it's obvious that 17 is a master of ki. We've seen him use barriers and ki blasts over and over and over and over and over again. You know, both of them are, him and his sister, and they're just enhanced humans. That's what they are. No different than, you know, Yamcha, Krillin, Roshi. These are all human beings. They're just regular human beings. The only difference is that 17 and 18 have those cybernetic enhancements. So him blowing himself up was entirely key based. It had nothing to do with his bombs in his stomach. And of course, what irritates me, and I'm just going to be very blunt about it, is people screaming the word, again, plot hole and bad writing, when we just had an episode literally a couple of weeks ago that was all about Vegeta self-sacrificing himself and his body being able to withstand it. Obviously, 17's body couldn't withstand it because Vegeta is stronger than 17. That's a fact. But it boggles my mind as to how quickly Dragon Ball fans will scream bad writing and plot hole when this is obviously not a plot hole, because we've seen tons of people blow themselves up in Dragon Ball. Chaozu, Saibaman, Vegeta, they all have done it. And they've done it without having bombs in their stomach. So I don't understand why people are like, oh, it's a plot hole. 17 got his bombs removed. Like, dude, a week ago we had an episode talking about this. It's strange to me, and I'm not trying to be condescending. I swear I'm not, but it's common sense. Like, if you watch the series, and I presume most people who are subscribed to this channel are hardcore fans, so you know what I'm talking about. This video is meant for you to spread it out to those who are confused. You know, if you watch the series just a couple weeks ago, you don't have to have a bomb in your stomach to blow yourself up. It's not a plot hole. Yes, Dragon Ball Super has tons and tons of bad writing. I know that. I'm very aware of it. I've done videos on how bad the writing was. In fact, in that very same episode, Vegeta recovered in seconds after Beerus had said the previous episode that he was completely drained of energy. That's bad writing. That's without question bad writing. But saying that 17 blowing himself up is a plot hole? No, that's wrong. So listen. If you're one of those people who hasn't seen Dragon Ball Z in a long time, or Dragon Ball, or you never saw it, because there's people who watch Super who have never seen the old series, you gotta see it. I mean, things make sense when you watch the old series. You just have to. Like, it's something that you have to do. Playing the video games, watching the fights on YouTube, it's just not going to be the same experience. Or you can at least read the manga. So I would tell everybody out there, if you're watching Super and you've never seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, now is the time. Start from the beginning. That way, these things won't be confusing to you and you won't be asking questions. I recommend watching it in Japanese with subtitles, especially if you've already seen the dub, because then you can kind of get the original version, and there's lots of things that were lost in translation and censored that you can see this time if you watch it again. So anyways, that's what I have for you in this video. I've ranted about this before, but I think making this video is something that's going to be productive in getting the word out there about how self-destructs work in Dragon Ball. And there's probably some smart guy who's like, well, why'd you have to make this video? Isn't it obvious? No, buddy, it's not obvious with what I've seen on the internet and what people have been saying about 17's explosion. That's why I made this video. Anyways, I'm out. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. And watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Watch it again. Now is the time. With Super ending in a few weeks, start over. Let's watch it all from the beginning. I'll actually do a video about how to watch it very, very soon. Love you all. See you soon.